What's up, guys? So as many of you probably know, CNN held a town hall earlier this week for James Comey so that people could ask him questions about his new book and ask him questions about some of the controversial decisions he made while head of the FBI. Now, the purpose of a town hall, or what's supposed to be one of the purposes of a town hall, is to give people the opportunity to ask the public figure challenging, often unexpected questions that they came up with on their own. That way, it puts the politician or public figure in a vulnerable place, and it compels raw, authentic answers from them. The purpose is not to perform a scripted, rehearsed play that ends up sounding exactly like every other interview that the politician is given. However, that's how it always ends up happening. Now, I know that you guys know that. I know that you know that this stuff is scripted. However, CNN likes to push back on that and say that it's not scripted. It's all spontaneous, and the kids and the faculty and whoever's in the town hall, they came up with the questions themselves, and Comey's answers are unfiltered and raw. That's what they want to make people believe. And to emphasize that, prior to the start of every single town hall they do, they make a statement like Anderson Cooper makes right here.
Director Comey has answered questions from a lot of journalists. Well, tonight it is your turn. All the questioners tonight are students, faculty, and staff from William and Mary. The questions are all their own.
It's our turn. It's the people's turn. Finally, the people get to ask James Comey the questions burning on their minds. Except the problem is, even if the questions are authentic, which they rarely are, if the answers are the exact same answers that are given in every single interview, then it doesn't matter what question is asked. I'm going to show you the very first question that was asked at the town hall. I'm going to show you Comey's answer, and then I'm going to show you a montage of clips of Comey giving the exact same answer, almost verbatim, during other interviews, cut together with his answer during the CNN town hall, just to illustrate how unauthentic this whole production is. Here is the first question that was asked.
Zachary, what's your question?
Hi, Director Comey. Do you believe that President Trump possesses the moral and mental capacities needed to effectively lead our armed forces, given his unprecedented loyalty pledge, the general temperament, and the documented outbursts?
Unprecedented loyalty pledge, general temperament, moral and mental capacities. Yeah, those aren't mainstream media talking points. What that kid asked was, is Donald Trump unfit to be president? Or at least that's what Comey heard, because his answer is the exact same answer, almost verbatim, that he gives when asked about Trump's fitness for the presidency. Here's Comey's answer, then I'll play you the montage of him giving the exact same scripted answer.
I don't have concerns about President Trump's physical fitness, whether he has dementia. I've read stuff like that. I don't buy it. I've dealt with him. He seems to be a person of above average intelligence. My concern is with his moral fitness. I don't believe he's morally fit to be president of the United States. And I never thought I'd say that about a president, and I don't say that lightly. And I say it because a person who sees moral equivalence across both sides in Charlottesville, who treats and speaks about women like pieces of meat, and who lies constantly about things big and small and insists that we believe the lies, that person's not fit to lead, no less to be the leader of the free world, the president of the United States.
Here's the montage.
I don't have concerns about President Trump's physical fitness, whether he has dementia. I've read stuff like that. I don't buy it. I don't think he's mentally unfit. I've read stuff about that he's, this bit about dementia and whatnot. I don't buy that. I don't buy the stuff about him being mentally incompetent or early stages of dementia. He seems to be a person of above average intelligence. He strikes me as a person of above average intelligence. He tracks a conversation, all those kinds of things. Who's tracking conversations and knows what's going on. My concern is with his moral fitness. I don't believe he's morally fit to be president of the United States. I actually believe he's morally unfit to be president. And I think he's morally unfit to be president. And I say it because someone who is able to see moral equivalence in Charlottesville, a person who sees moral equivalence across both sides in Charlottesville, or to speak and treat women like they're pieces of meat, who treats and speaks about women like pieces of meat,
who talks about and treats women like they're pieces of meat,
and to lie constantly, and who lies constantly.
That
That collection of attributes
makes a person morally unfit to be a leader, no less the President of the United States. That person's not fit to lead, no less to be the leader of the free world, the President of the United States. That person's not fit to be President of the United States on moral grounds.
All right, if you go back and watch it again, or if you go to the interviews themselves, you'll see that when he is asked this question and other questions, that he looks like he's searching for an answer. Like he's trying to choose his words correctly to spontaneously and authentically answer this question. When the reality is he knows exactly what he's going to say down to the very last word. He's trying to appear authentic. James Comey is anything but authentic. He's trying to deceive his audience. Regardless of what you think about Trump or Comey, this town hall format is intended to deceive the viewer, to deceive people who have not seen the other interviews, because who sees all the interviews unless that's your job to do that? The fact is that you could do this for almost every single answer he gives at this town hall, and you could add in 5 or 6 or 7 other interviews he's been on as well. This is the same script that he repeats over and over and over again. There's nothing spontaneous, raw, or unfiltered about this. And I know this seems light, and it seems like it's inconsequential because most of us know it's scripted, and the people who don't, they say they don't care because they buy into this whole thing. But the purpose of this thing is to spread that message that Donald Trump is immoral, and that those who do not agree, you don't even have to like Trump. If you don't agree with Comey's idea of American values, which is transforming into the progressive idea of American values, then you are automatically immoral, like Comey says Donald Trump is, and therefore you should be opposed. This is the message, the feel they're trying to spread across America with this and other efforts. It should really make people mad that their attempts at manipulating perception in order to influence the audience, its intended audience, are so blatant. I mean, the target audience here are people who are part of the Trump resistance. Now, if you're part of the Trump resistance, don't you question why they're trying to manipulate your perception of this town hall? I mean, why can't they just be honest about it? This is the same interview he's given over and over again. You're going to hear the same scripted answers. I mean, don't you wonder about that? Because it's undeniable what the purpose is and is not of a town hall. A town hall is designed to put the person answering questions in a vulnerable situation, and it is to compel authentic, unscripted, raw answers from them. It is not to give them a forum where they can be thrown softball questions and regurgitate the same script they've been repeating in every interview. That's undeniable. So if you are part of the Trump resistance, do they not think that you can come to these conclusions that you've come to on your own without them manipulating you? Do they not trust your judgment? It should really piss you off because that's blatant deception.